We have been traveling the rich fertile lands of Kenya, far and wide, across the highlands and lowlands of this beautiful country, talking to farmers wherever we go.
We want to give them the help and knowledge they need to improve their farming methods,
increase their income, and turn around their farms into good business for the future.
Join us and our experts on this journey and share their families' experiences as they make the changes.
Karibu to Shamba Shape Up Safari.
Welcome to Shamba Shape Up. Now we're at Maseno, which is about half an hour from Kisumu City.
We're about to meet a farmer who has a big problem
with small maize.
Well, let's go and meet her. Where we see a problem, we set up the Shamba Shape Up base camp tent.
So Risper, how many years have you lived here?
Nimekaa hapa kwa miaka 10.
Ah, you've lived here for 10 years? And how many children do you have?
Niko na 8.
Oh, you have 8 children? Do they all live here?
Niko na 4.
Oh, so 4 live here?
Risper, I know you work very hard and you have so many kids. How big is your farm?
Eka moja.
1 acre? Ah, okay, I see. So Risper, what do you grow in your 1 acre farm?
Ni mahindi na maragwe.
Maize and beans?
Risper tells us that she gets a very low harvest from her maize and it's very small. Also, her cows sleep outside and they have ticks and diseases. Plus, we find out that she cooks in the bedroom and she doesn't have a kitchen area.
It's a good thing that we have set base here at Risper's farm. There's loads to be done. You know, it's a pity about her maize. She's not getting a bumper harvest. We need an expert to get into that.
What worries me is that she cooks right next to where the children sleep.
You don't have to worry about that, Naomi. You can do something about it.
Of course.
And we need an expert to take a look at our cows.
Yeah, why not?
There's lots to be done, Naomi. Let's not sit here chatting. Let's get on with it. Okay.
The first job is for an expert from Coopers to inspect her cows. They are definitely not very happy. Mr. Kirui,
yes.
I see you've examined the cows.
Yeah.
So what advice would you give Risper here?
Okay, after looking at the animals here, there are some problems which I have noticed. And if you compare the age of this heifer versus the weight,
yes.
I can say it's underweight because if you look at it, it's almost over 1 year or above. And then it should have been now be a very big cow.
Yes.
And one of the things which we should look at is deworming. Deworming essentially is supposed to be done as one of the routine management in any farm. The importance of deworming is it will address the issue of production in terms of either meat or milk. Another one is if you do regular deworming as required, the growth rate of the animal is also going to be good.
The cows need to be dewormed using Cooper's Nefluke product. Always read instructions and wear protective clothing. Cattle should be given deworming treatment every 3 months. Then, healing oil is applied to the grazes and wounds on the cows. This will prevent infection and promote healing. It is a myth to apply dung to a wound. This will attract flies and cause worse infection. Apply healing oil every day until the wound is healed.
The main problem on Risper's Shamba is the maize production. It is small and weak, and she does not produce enough to make an income. Mr. Dickens from Isipe is an expert in problems that affect maize in this area. I went around and this is what I got. This is supposed to be a whole maize corn. Now, what do you have?
Actually, this is what you should be getting in this field.
So what is the problem? Just look at them, look at them. What's the problem with this one now?
The problem is the striga weed.
The purple flowers in the maize crop is striga weed. It's also known as witch weed. This can cause from 30 to 100% loss in maize yield. Striga is a parasitic weed. It feeds off from the roots of the maize and ends up killing the maize. Each striga plant can produce up to 50,000 seeds, which lie dormant in the soil until a crop is planted again. They then attach to the roots of the crop and draw all its nutrients. Dickens, what are you carrying for us?
This is a plant damaged by stem borers. The second problem I was telling you affecting the maize here.
Whoa.
The stem borer lay the eggs, eggs hatch, and then the larvae feed on the leaves. And this is the damage symptoms of the stem borer damage. You see these windows, the holes in the leaves.
So once the stem is damaged, that's it?
That is it. You don't get the crop performing well, and if a strong wind comes, the plant will break.
It will be weak.
It will be weak.
So if you add stem borer and striga to this maize, that is bad news.
You end up getting no crop at all, like what you are seeing in this farmer's field. Yes.
Damage caused by stem borers averages at 20 to 40%, which means between 2 to 4 bags of maize are lost out of every 10 bags that could be harvested. That's a lot of food and money that is destroyed.
Striga weed and stem borer are two of the most destructive pests of cereal crops, but Shamba Shape Up has found a solution for Risper. ICIPE have developed push and pull technology, which not only improves maize crops without the use of chemicals, it also has many other benefits on a farm. Later, we are going to take Risper and our neighbors to see a push-pull technology in action.
Meanwhile, I have another expert from Unga Farm Care to give Risper some more advice on her cows.
Okay, I've observed the cows and I can see they are underweight. First, the feeding is not okay. The cows seems as if they don't get enough of fodder. So the advice is to give these cows enough of fodder. To make that possible, you have to have a trough where the fodder will be chopped in small pieces.
Right.
So that the cow can get enough every day. Then, to improve on the health, there's a product which I will recommend from Unga Farm Care called Afya Meal. Afya Meal is a balanced feed which will help these cows to gain weight and to have strong bones. Even the production will be improved.
Right.
So it should be given a kilogram per cow per day. Then there's a mineral, Afya stock creek, which will help the cows to have good health.
Right.
So that at least the heifer can come on heat on time.
Right.
And the bull calf can get enough meat to go to slaughter.
So, now that the cows have had a health check and Risper knows how to fatten them up, we need to build them a cow shelter to protect them from diseases and a trough for them to feed from. Work gets started to build a shelter. The old shed comes down, and the material will be reused on the new shelter. Whenever you build a wooden structure, always use a wood preservative to protect the poles underground from termites. This will help your structure last a long time. A cow shelter for 2 cows should be 12 feet by 10 feet. Flooring should be stone rubble or marram. This will help drainage. It should include a trough where the cows can easily access good fodder, supplements, and fresh water. It should have a protective roof. Dry grass should be placed on the floor and changed now and then. After a while, the grass can be used to make compost or as manure in the fields.
And how are you getting along, Naomi?
Great. Now, Risper got expert advice about the health of her cows, and Carissa started building the cow shed.
Yes, and Risper has also learned that the problem with her maize is due to the stem borer and striker weeds. And that's just terrible. But there's still more advice coming up here on Shamba Shape Up. Welcome back to Shamba Shape Up. We are here at Risper's Shamba in Maseno.
And so far, we've had basic advice on the health of our cows.
And also the danger that stem borer and striker weeds can do to the maize crop.
So there's still more to be done, so let's do it. Risper lives on her 1-acre farm with 4 of her 8 children. We have had advice on the health and management of her cows, but her biggest problem is very poor quality of maize and low yields. This is caused by striker weed and stem borer pests.
The solution to these problems is to farm using push and pull technology developed by Risper. We've taken Risper and her neighbors to meet Mr. Remgias Bwana, a farmer who already uses push and pull technology and has successful maize crop.
I had 3 major problems that was making my production very low. Even if there was enough rain, I could not get enough yield. This was because my farm and other farms around are being infested by the striker weed. The striker weed is a dangerous weed. Sometimes we call it a witch weed because we think it is witching our plants. Secondly, I had a problem of soil erosion. You can see my farm here is in a slopey area. So most of the topsoil had been eroded, and still that was also a major problem in reduction of my yield. Stalk borer is another major problem. This stalk borer also, when it affects your farm, or if it affects your crop, you will not get any yield at all.
Mr. Remgias and his neighbors were introduced to push and pull technology by Risper in 2007.
At our village level, we formed the younger push-pull farmers group. In our own village, we are now 60 members who are now practicing push-pull technology. And in that, we have now increased the yields, and again, the households are now, I would say, food secure. Our animals now are having enough feeds, because in the same technology, you will also get feeds for your animals. You get the farmyard manure or the compost manure. That one you will come back and plow into your fields, and that one will also increase the soil fertility. So in that way, it is, we would say, it is nature working by itself.
So, there are many benefits to push and pull farming: fodder, soil fertility, and improved maize. So, let's find out how you plant push and pull.
This is a push-pull field. When establishing a push-pull field, you will have 3 rows, at least 3 rows of napier grass around your field. And you leave a path of 1 meter wide.
By planting desmodium in between your rows of maize, it gives off a smell that stem borer moths do not like. The smell pushes away the moths from the maize crop. Napier grass is planted around the maize crop as a trap plant. The napier pulls the moths away as it's more attractive to stem borer moths. The stem borer moths then lay their eggs on it, but the napier grass does not allow stem borer larvae to develop on it. The stem borer does not destroy the napier and is still safe to use as animal fodder. A gap of 1 meter must remain between the maize and the napier, and so the stem borer larvae cannot jump back and destroy the maize. The desmodium also puts a natural chemical into the ground that stops the striker weed from growing on maize.
So in that case, you will find that the nature now has worked on its own. It has destroyed the life history of the stem borer at the same time of the tiger weed. And your farm remains safe. In that manner, you can see how it works. And if you have a farm, this one is what you can harvest from an infested tiger field. But if you use the technology, this one I've plucked from some of my plants around here. So if I ask you a question among ourselves, would you like to harvest this? Or you would like to harvest this? Which one would you harvest?
This one.
So if you want to harvest this one, introduce yourself to the push-pull technology.
Mr. Ramjas and his group is proof that by using push and pull technology, you can produce healthy maize, and by working as a group, the workload is shared and you can make more profits.
Okay, after you have established your push-pull technology, you will see that your field now performs better than where it was to be. You will have higher yields, and then the push-pull technology can be used also on the production of other cereals like millet, sorghum. For this year, I have a field of sorghum behind you here, and you can see it doing well. So I'll be harvesting both maize and sorghum. Obviously, when you have a higher yield, the surplus you can now sell to get extra income. This will even help you in expanding or in going into other activities. At the end of the harvest, the stock itself is a fodder. Secondly, the napier is a main fodder for the animals. And thirdly, the desmodium is almost the finest fodder.
If you mix chopped desmodium and chopped napier at a ratio of 1 handful or a bucket of desmodium to 3 handfuls or 3 buckets of napier, you will have a nutritious fodder that will help produce a higher milk yield from your livestock.
So when you have crop yield, higher milk yield, you will be a market of yourself. People will be coming for the crop and they will be coming for milk. And you get what we call income generating activities within the technology you are doing. So in that case, the technology is very much beneficial to a farmer. As we have learned through the technology, the desmodium produces nitrogen. And you will find that most of our farms around here are exhausted. They need a lot of nitrogen. Desmodium continue to fix this nitrogen year in, year out, because it is a perennial plant. You plant it once and it remains there. Plus the napier, the same. They are all perennial. So even the workload is reduced.
Risper and her neighbors have all learned so much. I bet they can't wait to go home and start push and pull technology themselves. Thank you, Mr. Ramjas.
Yes.
That was very educational. I can see the farmers here are very happy and they're taking notes.
You as a farmer, before you started this push-pull technology, how many bags of maize were you getting from this field? And now, after starting the push-pull technology, how many bags of maize do you expect now?
Before I started this technology, I was doing all my best. I used to get 40 kilograms of maize within my farm. But now I'm getting over 250. So you will find that, in fact, the yield is almost 3 times what I used to get.
I'm sure most of you like so many bags. How many do you get now?
I get very little, even not
The small ones.
even not a quarter.
Thank you very much, Mr. Ramjus. Yes. Thank you. As you can see, the farmers are very eager to go and start practicing push-pull.
Yes.
And as you said, using push-pull, nature can take care of itself.
Back on Risper's farm, I was concerned that she was cooking in the bedroom. This was dangerous and unhealthy for herself and the children. While she was away learning about push-pull, I had a kitchen shelter built next to her boma.
It's great.
She can now cook safely for her family.
We were also aware that Risper had to walk very far to fetch water for the family from a water reserve center. This takes a lot of time away from working on the shamba. To help save time and effort, you can install simple gutters which will harvest rainwater into a tank that you can use for cooking, washing, and fresh drinking water for your animals.
Another problem for the family is they have no electricity. Risper's son Paul reads to the younger children but has to use a kerosene lamp. This is dangerous, not good for the children's eyes, and costs a lot of money each week to buy the kerosene.
So now I brought you something nice. Now this is a lamp, but it's different because it doesn't use kerosene. It is powered from the sun. So you can read with it, Paul, and Mama, you can cook with it in the kitchen. What do you think?
Very good.
What do you think, Paul? Good.
The solar lamp produced by D-Light is put out in the sun to charge. It turns the sunlight into solar energy, and the sun is free to use. Once charged, the D-Light lasts for 4 hours and is brighter and safer than a kerosene lamp. Plus, it saves you money. The cow shelter is now complete. It's important as it will help prevent diseases, meaning the cow's health will improve and so will the milk yield. Plus, the cow can feed from a trough, which will also be healthier and assist with milk production. Risper makes sure that they have fodder, Unga Farm Care Afya meal feed, a salt lick block which will provide essential minerals.
Isipe have developed other ways of farming without chemicals. To help protect your livestock from ticks, they suggest planting molasses grass around your livestock shed or shelter. The molasses grass naturally repels the ticks. To do this, dig a furrow between 1 and 2 meters away from the livestock shelter. Dig holes 1 foot apart. If your soil is not healthy, add 1 handful of farmyard manure in each hole and 5 grams of fertilizer such as DAP and mix. To plant the molasses grass, you can buy seeds from a local agrovet or use plant cuttings from a molasses plant. Take small splits with some roots and place in each hole. Then water to give them a good start. This method will assist with tick control on your livestock. Once again, it's nature fighting nature.
It's been a great Shamba Shape Up. Now, Risper, we gave you great advice on your cows, right? Now they're going to be healthy.
Yeah.
Now we build you a cow shed.
Yeah.
We build you a kitchen.
Yeah.
So your children are now safe. Are you happy?
Yes.
Very happy.
Yes.
Okay, great.
Now, ladies and gentlemen, we took you to the push and pull farm. And I hope you learned a lot.
Yes, we learned a lot. We plan to spread this good news to other farmers in this area.
All the farmers.
Yes.
So that they can get very big maize
big
cobs.
maize cob.
It's been nice being with you, and I'm sure that in the future you're going to get bumper harvest. It's been another great show here on Shamba Shape Up. Shamba Shape Up is online. To learn more about today's topics or to watch any of our previous episodes, visit shambashapeup.com, select the episode and click play. You could also visit our Facebook page, Shamba Shape Up, to get more information, get involved in discussions, and also get a chance to enter some of our great competition to win great prizes. You can also find us on Twitter @Shamba Shape Up.